Okay, so today let's talk about job security. You know, all those future-proof careers everyone's always going on about.
Yeah.
Well, we're diving deep into a sector that's not just surviving, it's absolutely thriving.
Right.
The U.S. service contractor market.
Okay.
And we're not just talking anecdotal evidence here. We got our hands on an excerpt from a report called 2025 Trends in the U,
Okay.
and it breaks down exactly where this whole industry is headed.
Interesting.
So, expert speaker, this report's got some seriously eye-opening projections.
Yeah, well, let's just say the image that we have, the
Yep.
traditional image of the service industry, is getting a serious makeover. This report highlights, I think, a perfect storm of factors that are driving this major growth.
Okay.
Aging housing stock, renewed focus on sustainability, and let's not forget the rise of those ever-so-smart homes.
Right. It's like everything's getting an upgrade these days.
It is.
All right, so we're not just talking about fixing leaky faucets and mowing lawns anymore.
Wow.
Give us the big picture. How much are we talking about here?
The home services sector alone is estimated to be worth over $600 billion.
Wow.
That's with a B. And it's not just a fleeting trend. We're looking at consistent growth, with some areas projected to expand by over 6% annually.
Okay, now those are some numbers that could convince anyone to trade in their laptop for a toolbox.
Right.
But let's break it down a bit. The report digs into some specific sectors within this booming market, right?
Absolutely. And some of the traditional players, like your HVAC and plumbing,
Right.
are seeing some of the most interesting changes. These are essential services, so they've always been fairly stable, but now they're experiencing a real surge in demand, driven by factors we haven't really seen before.
So it's not just about fixing what's broken anymore. What's driving this increased demand?
For HVAC, it's a combination of things. An aging housing stock means older systems need replacing, and then we've got these increasingly frequent extreme weather events.
Oh, absolutely.
They're pushing HVAC systems to their limits. Plus, with the growing emphasis on energy efficiency, people aren't just replacing old systems. They're upgrading to more sustainable and cost-effective solutions.
Yeah, it's like the perfect storm of necessity, environmental awareness, and maybe a little bit of keeping up with the Joneses
A little bit.
with those fancy new smart thermostats.
Precisely. And plumbing is experiencing a similar shift. While those essential services remain, there's a growing demand for water-efficient solutions.
Okay.
This goes beyond just low-flow toilets. We're talking about things like smart irrigation systems, rainwater harvesting, even gray water recycling.
So plumbers are becoming water conservation specialists.
In a way, yeah.
That's a side of the profession I hadn't really considered. It's like every sector is getting this sustainability upgrade.
That's a great way to put it. And this trend towards sustainability is having a major impact on landscaping as well.
You mean people wanting those picture-perfect lawns without, guzzling gallons of water?
Exactly. We're seeing a move towards drought-tolerant landscaping, native plants, water-wise irrigation systems. It's not just about aesthetics anymore. It's about creating sustainable outdoor spaces.
Okay, so we've got sustainability changing the game for HVAC, plumbing, landscaping. What about good old-fashioned home renovations? Those must be booming with so many people buying older homes these days.
You're spot on. The report highlights a significant increase in the home remodeling market. And it's not just about fixing what's broken. Homeowners are investing in upgrades, renovations, even additions to make their spaces more functional, more energy efficient, and more stylish.
So it's not just about keeping up with the Joneses anymore. It's about keeping up with the latest trends and making those smart investments. It sounds like a goldmine for contractors who can combine those traditional skills with a modern, eco-conscious approach.
Precisely. And speaking of a changing landscape, the report also highlights a fascinating shift in the contractor workforce itself.
Interesting.
We're seeing a new generation entering the trades, and they're bringing fresh perspectives and priorities with them.
This isn't your grandpa's construction site anymore.
Not quite. The report states over 50% of high school graduates are considering trade careers. This is a generation that's grown up with technology, and they're not afraid to use it to their advantage.
So we're talking tech-savvy contractors who can install a smart thermostat as easily as they can fix a leaky faucet. That's an interesting combination.
It's a powerful combination.
Yeah.
And it's not just about technology. This new generation is also more attuned to sustainability, diversity, work-life balance. They're looking for careers that offer not just a paycheck, but also a sense of purpose and flexibility.
It sounds like the service industry is attracting a whole new breed of entrepreneur.
You could say that this new generation is less interested in climbing the corporate ladder and more interested in building something of their own. They're drawn to the autonomy and creative freedom that comes with being a contractor.
All right, so we've got a booming market, evolving technologies, and a new generation of talent shaking things up. But this report doesn't just paint this rosy picture, does it? What are some of the challenges facing contractors in this rapidly changing landscape?
That's an important question, and one the report addresses directly.
Yeah.
Even with all this opportunity, contractors face a unique set of hurdles,
Right.
from navigating these complex regulations to managing a workforce with evolving expectations. But we'll delve into those challenges in more detail a little bit later.
All right, sounds good. So before we were talking about this kind of paradox, this
Yeah.
booming industry, but also grappling with some serious challenges.
Right.
Expert speaker, this report doesn't shy away from those tougher questions that contractors are facing.
It doesn't.
What are some of the biggest hurdles they're dealing with?
Well, one of the significant ones is the labor shortage.
Yeah.
We've got this surge in demand for services,
Yeah.
but actually finding those skilled workers to meet that demand, it's a major bottleneck.
Yeah.
And it's not just about quantity either. It's about quality as well.
So it's not just about finding enough hands. It's about finding those hands with the right skills, which makes sense with all the technological advancements you were talking about.
Exactly.
You need someone who can handle a circuit board just as well as they can handle a wrench.
That's right. And that's where this whole skills gap becomes a real concern. Because the traditional training methods, they aren't always keeping pace with, how quickly technology is evolving in these sectors.
So how are contractors adapting? Are we seeing any innovative approaches to training and recruitment?
Yeah, definitely. Some really forward-thinking companies are partnering directly with vocational schools and community colleges
Okay.
to create these specialized training programs that are tailored to the specific needs of this industry.
Interesting.
Others are investing in apprenticeship programs.
Oh, wow.
So they are offering that on-the-job training combined with traditional classroom instruction.
It's like a modern day apprenticeship, bridging that gap between, theory and real world application. But it sounds like technology isn't just changing what contractors do,
Right.
It's changing how they do it. The report touches on that as well.
It does. Technology is becoming increasingly integral to every single aspect of the service industry.
Wow.
From just finding those customers to managing projects to streamlining operations, we're seeing this rise in software solutions that are designed specifically for contractors.
I see.
And they can help them with everything from scheduling and invoicing
Oh, wow.
to customer relationship management.
So it's like having this virtual assistant who can handle all those administrative headaches, and it frees up contractors to just focus on the actual work.
Exactly.
What are some other ways technology is transforming the industry?
One of the biggest is just the rise of all these online platforms that connect contractors directly with customers.
Okay.
These platforms, they act as these digital marketplaces,
Mm-hmm.
and they allow customers to find and compare different contractors in their area really easily.
So it's like those on-demand service apps that we use for everything else.
Exactly.
But for home services, makes total sense. It gives those contractors greater visibility,
Yeah.
and it helps customers find exactly what they need with just a few taps on their phone. But with this increased transparency
Right.
comes greater scrutiny, right?
Absolutely.
Customers are more informed than ever.
They are.
Yeah.
Customer expectations are changing. They have access to a lot more information than they used to,
Mm-hmm.
more options, and they've got more power than ever before.
And they're not afraid to use it.
They're not.
So it's not enough to just be good at what you do anymore.
Right.
You also have to be good at marketing yourself, managing your online reputation, and providing that top-notch customer service.
Precisely. Contractors who prioritize that customer experience,
Yeah.
from the initial interaction all the way to the final walkthrough,
Right.
those are the ones who will really thrive in this new landscape.
It's like the service industry is finally catching up with the rest of the digital world, where reviews and ratings can just make or break a business overnight.
Exactly. And it's not just about online reviews either.
Yeah.
Customers are also looking for contractors who are transparent about their pricing,
Okay.
communicative throughout that whole process,
Right.
and responsive to their needs.
So it's about building trust and relationships,
Mm-hmm.
not just completing transactions. It sounds like that human element is more important than ever, even with all this technology in the mix.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And technology is also playing a role in the types of services that customers are demanding as well.
How so?
Well, we talked about this growing demand for sustainability and energy efficiency.
We did.
That's not just a trend that's going to fade away.
Yeah.
That is a fundamental shift in what customers are prioritizing.
Right.
Customers are increasingly looking for those contractors who can help them reduce that environmental footprint and save money on those energy bills.
So knowing how to install solar panels or upgrade a home's insulation, It's not a niche specialty anymore.
Not at all.
It's becoming a core competency.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the technical skills either.
Right.
Customers want those contractors who can educate them about their options,
Okay.
help them navigate all those complex rebates and incentives,
Wow.
and ultimately help them make those really informed decisions about their homes and businesses.
So it's like being a consultant and a contractor,
Yeah.
all rolled into one. But with so many different specializations within the service industry,
Right.
it must be overwhelming for someone who's just starting out.
It can be.
What advice would you give to someone looking to break into this field?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best advice I can give is just follow your passion.
Okay.
The service industry is so vast and so diverse. Whether you're drawn to that hands-on work of plumbing or electrical,
Yeah.
or maybe that creative problem solving of HVAC design, or the intricate details of, sustainable landscaping,
Right.
there's a place for everyone.
So it's about finding that sweet spot
It is.
where your skills and interests line up with what the market actually demands.
Exactly.
But passion alone isn't enough, is it? What are some practical steps someone can take to build that successful career in this field?
Research is key. Don't just jump into the first trade that sounds interesting.
Okay.
Take some time and really understand those different career paths.
Yeah.
What training and certifications are required,
Right.
and what's the long-term earning potential.
So do your homework
Do your homework.
before you even pick up your toolbox.
Exactly.
What about those who are maybe thinking about making a career change?
Yeah.
Are there any skills or experiences from other industries that translate well to the service industry?
Absolutely. Problem-solving skills are huge.
Mm.
So are things like communication, customer service,
Yeah.
and the ability to work independently or as part of a team.
So those soft skills that are sometimes undervalued in other industries
Right.
are actually really highly prized in the service sector.
They are.
That's good to know.
And let's not forget the importance of a good work ethic, being reliable, attention to detail.
Right.
Those qualities will take you far in any field.
Yeah.
But they're especially important in the service industry because reputation is everything.
It's about building that trust and credibility,
It is.
one job at a time. But speaking of building,
Yeah.
this report doesn't just focus on those established businesses.
It doesn't.
It also highlights that entrepreneurial spirit
Yeah.
that's alive and well in the service industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're seeing this surge in people who just want to be their own boss,
Right.
set their own hours, and build something that they're really proud of.
It's that classic entrepreneurial dream,
Yeah.
but with the added bonus of tangible results.
Right.
You're not just pushing papers. You are building and fixing and creating something
They
real.
are. And the barriers to entry are often a lot lower than people think.
Really?
Yeah, you don't need that fancy degree
Okay.
or a ton of capital to get started.
Okay.
What you do need is skill, dedication, and a willingness to work hard
And maybe a good business
and
plan.
a good business plan. That's important.
This report doesn't just leave those aspiring entrepreneurs hanging, does it?
It doesn't.
Does it offer some guidance on launching and growing a successful business?
It does. And that's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Because while the fundamentals of business haven't changed all that much,
Right.
the strategies for success in the service industry,
Yeah.
those are evolving constantly.
So we've talked about a lot,
We have.
the trends, those skills you need to really make it,
Right.
and even what it takes to run your own business.
Yeah.
But this report, it doesn't just hit you with all these stats and leave you hanging.
It doesn't.
It goes deeper into some hurdles that contractors face.
It does.
What are some of those?
Well, one of the biggest challenges the report highlights is just that constantly shifting landscape of regulations and licensing,
Right.
the service industry. It's subject to this really complex web of rules,
Yeah.
and they vary from state to state,
Oh, I bet.
city to city, even by specific trades sometimes.
So it's like you need a law degree on top of everything else just
Well.
to keep up with the paperwork. So how do you even begin to navigate that, especially if you're new to the business?
Well, that's where industry associations can be really, really valuable.
Okay.
Joining a professional organization, it's not only going to keep you updated on the latest regulations and best practices,
Yeah.
it also gives you access to this whole network of other more experienced professionals who have been there and done that.
It's like having that built-in support system
Exactly.
to help you avoid those costly mistakes.
Exactly.
But being compliant, that's just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
The report also emphasizes risk management,
Yes.
especially in those fields like construction,
Yeah.
home renovation, where
Yeah.
accidents are more prone to happen.
Of course. Prioritizing safety, That's
Okay.
paramount.
Absolutely.
Investing in comprehensive safety training for yourself and anyone you hire,
Right.
ensuring you've got adequate insurance coverage,
Right.
and fostering this culture of safety on every single job site.
Yeah, those are non-negotiables. It's not just about, protecting your business. It's about protecting people.
Exactly.
And speaking of protection,
Yeah.
let's talk about the financial side of things.
Okay.
Even with this booming market,
Right.
managing cash flow effectively is absolutely crucial for any business to thrive,
It's the most important.
especially in this industry.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
The report really emphasizes having sound accounting practices,
Okay.
utilizing technology to track your expenses, generating those invoices, and monitoring cash flow. It makes a world of difference.
So ditch that shoebox of receipts
Exactly.
and embrace those digital tools.
There's so many great ones out there.
There are.
Yeah.
But even with, perfect financial planning,
Right.
the unexpected can always happen.
Always.
What about mitigating those risks that just come with the territory in this line of work?
That's where securing adequate business insurance is key.
Okay.
Protecting yourself from liability in
Mm.
case of those accidents,
Right.
property damage,
Yeah.
even those professional errors. It's
Yeah.
essential.
Really?
It's all about having those safety nets in place for
Yeah.
when things go wrong,
Because they will.
because they will.
It really sounds like knowledge is power in this industry.
Oh, it is.
The more informed you are
Yeah.
about the regulations, the risks,
Yes.
the best business practices,
Yeah.
the better your chances of success are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah,
it boils down to providing amazing service.
it does.
You can have all the knowledge in the world,
Right.
but if your service is subpar,
Right.
it's not going to get you very far.
Oh.
This report,
Yeah.
it's full of all this fascinating data,
Yeah.
all these projections, but it really just reinforces a truth
What's that?
that the service industry thrives on trust,
Okay.
reliability,
Right.
and exceeding those customer expectations.
Exceeding expectations.
Every time.
It's not just about fixing things.
Well,
It's about building those relationships.
it is.
Uh,
And those who understand that human element,
Mm.
while also, embracing all the advances in technology and sustainability,
Mhm.
those are the people who are going to shape the future of this really dynamic industry.
That's really well said. It's a really exciting time to be a part of this evolving landscape.
It really is.
It's been a really insightful deep dive, I think,
It has been.
into this world of service contractors.
It really has.
And for anybody out there listening who's thinking about a career change
Yeah.
or maybe starting their own business,
Right.
this report gives a really clear message.
What's that?
The opportunity is there
It is.
for those who are willing to put in the work,
Yes.
embrace innovation,
Mm-hmm.
and never stop learning.
And never stop learning. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's a tough industry,
Yeah,
but man, is it rewarding.
it is.
And the future belongs to those who are ready to work hard
Well said.
and build it one service at a time.
And on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive into the booming world of service contractors. We hope you found this exploration insightful and maybe even a little inspiring. Until next time, remember, knowledge is power, hard work pays off, and a job well done is its own reward.